Hey, what's happening, folks? Welcome back to the Play to Win podcast, and this is our wrap up episode of the year. Joining me today are my usual partners
What?
in crime.
Criminals.
Josh. Yes, criminals. Josh and Jared, the other game gurus here. How you guys doing?
Yo.
Howdy.
Doing all right. Just really tired.
It's we're approaching the holidays
Always
here.
tired.
Kind of getting tired of the holidays already. We're hosting, so that'll be fun.
See, tired.
Yeah, I love the holidays. I mean, it's great and all, but it is exhausting, right? You got so much to do. One year, tell me if you guys did this. 1 year for Christmas, we did 4 Christmases in one day, all on Christmas Day.
Was this a movie or something?
I wish I was saying it was a movie. That was exhausting. I will never do that again. So this year we're hosting too. We're doing Christmas since we had the little one this year. We're gonna host Christmas for the close family on Christmas, like Christmas brunch.
Okay, real quick before we get into anything,
Nice.
What is everyone's favorite related gaming Christmas present they've received?
Oh, good one. I got one unless you guys have one already.
I'll go first.
I need to think about
Go
it.
ahead, Josh.
I got back in like 4th or 5th grade. I got the GameCube, and it came with probably my top 1 or 2 favorite Zelda games of all time, the Wind Waker. So that was a very memorable Christmas. Also because we opened it like on the 21st, and then immediately drove the next day to Chicago for a week. So I didn't get to play it for a week. So that wasn't
Here
the
you
fun
go.
part.
Yoink.
I know.
Psych.
Yeah.
Mine has to be the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
I remember I was a big Final Fantasy fan back in the Super Nintendo era, and I saw a commercial for Final Fantasy VII after that came out, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta have that. It's Final Fantasy VII. So for Christmas one year, I got PlayStation, the original, and Final Fantasy VII.
Did Lucy just like fart over there, Jared?
Josh is in like
What was that?
I don't know. That wasn't me.
Oh, I thought it was you.
That must have been on Alex's
Oh,
side.
okay.
But
Is it like-
just the way my headphones went, I was just like,
Yeah.
sounded like a foghorn went off.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it at all. Interesting. Well,
Anywho, sorry guys, you didn't need to hear that sound effect.
it's later in the evening than we normally record these, just so everybody knows we're a little bit tired.
Worked a full day. It's crazy. Put a kid to sleep, trusting another kid's going to go to sleep while we are recording this. My favorite gift, I would have to say, it was a Christmas / preemptive graduation gift, but it was my first big flat screen TV because I'd never had one before, and so going from the old box to a flat screen like changed my life. And I was playing one of the early Assassin's Creeds at the time, and I remember just how different the map looked. And I was just
I can read it.
Living in the future.
Yeah. Everything's not all CRT grainy.
Like, I was
and fuzzy.
pretty
You finally see.
I was pretty skilled to get through things how I was before. This is nice.
Yeah.
Have
in
you
any
ever
case,
seen, to that same point,
Just dating myself there.
have you
I
ever,
feel like-
please, our conversations before this really dated us.
I guess that's true.
Have you seen like the comparison of like old Super Nintendo graphics on a CRT versus modern? It was designed to be blurry, so it looks more realistic-ish on the blurry screens, and looks a little different, like incomplete.
Kind of like you right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit blurry, I know. So,
Yeah.
that was a nice divergent. Now let's kind of shift. So we're going to talk Hunt Showdown 1896 today. But before we get to that, we've got something coming up this week, a little thing known as the Game Awards. And we're going to talk about the nominations. So we've got, we're not going to talk all the categories, but we're going to talk a few of the categories and our personal thoughts on those, some of which I'm sure we've played, many of which I'm sure we haven't, but we're going to give you our opinions anyway. Have you guys voted yet?
No,
Not yet.
I need to. I'll probably do it tomorrow
I
at work
tonight.
when I should be doing something else.
I think it's round 2 now.
Or I mean working.
Yeah, it's working. I voted in round 1 and 2. I think there's one more round. I don't know. I'm not following it. But so do you guys want to, let's jump to the main topic, which is game of the year. So if you pull up, let's take a look at those nominations. I'll read those off for everybody. So we have, let's see, 6 nominations here. A pretty wide variety, actually. We have the first one, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is from Sandfall Interactive, Kepler Interactive, indie development. We have Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Kojima Productions, which is also a Sony Interactive Entertainment joint and Sony exclusive, at least for the time being. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a Nintendo developed, actually from the same development team that made Super Mario Odyssey. We have Hades 2 from Supergiant Games, which finally released and is a Switch 2 exclusive. So we got 2 Switch 2 exclusives on here. We have Hollow Knight Silksong, the long-awaited Hollow Knight, finally dropped this year from Team Cherry on everything.
The one that broke the internet on or at least
broke the internet.
The eShops.
And then finally coming out, the last one, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 by Warhorse Studios, Deep Silver. So do we want to go through these individually and talk about them, or and then we can kind of talk about our thoughts on what we think should win?
I don't know. I don't think we need to go through each one individually necessarily, because I don't think we've played a ton of them, but I think we should pick out a few key notables.
Well, which one sticks out to you, Jared, and why?
If I were to pick one of these, in full disclosure, I have not played any one of these games, but from what I know and from what I've experienced in the past, I would have to lean on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Okay.
That team does crazy research for their games, like historical research. So on top of the game development, the fact that they go through with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that everything is as historically accurate as possible is incredible. And just the layers of mechanics built into these games and the attention to detail is next level. And I heard from the first game, which is what I have some experience with, the second game I hear is in the stratosphere and leaves the first game in the dust. So just knowing what I know about that team and the hard work that they put in and the feedback I've heard about this game and what I've seen in the first game, what I've heard about this game, I would have to say this one should win, in my opinion.
I've heard lots of really good things about it. I think it's pretty awesome that you literally have to, and these are the kind of games where you literally have to teach your character to read.
Yeah.
If you don't bathe enough, you literally smell, and it causes issues with other characters.
Social issues, yeah.
Social issues. So it's a true medieval sim. It's not a fantasy RPG. It's a medieval sim RPG, and it looks good. I've heard lots of really cool things. Josh, do you have any experience with Kingdom Come Deliverance or the new one at all?
No, not really. It was a game that I thought about checking out back in the winter, but then I decided to buy a house, and also Avowed kind of was sandwiched on both sides of that. So, and then of course Oblivion and Switch 2 coming out. So
they are not easy games, Kingdom Come Deliverances.
Yeah, that's
and I'll even say it's not even like it's so involved. It's not even really my cup of tea, but I'll still throw my.
That's one of the things I think that's going against this, is it doesn't have quite the broad appeal as maybe some of these other games on the list do. But don't count it out because of that. Like Jared said, the team is very talented and they've created a really great game here. I thought the same thing about Baldur's Gate 3 that won a couple of years ago. I thought it was a fantastic game, but I thought it was too niche, and it won. It was great. People loved it. So any other games stick out on this list for you, Jared? Anything you want to highlight, mention?
The only other game that I have some experience with is Death Stranding 1, which I'll say that game is absolutely gorgeous. It's weird. And I know very little about Death Stranding 2 because I don't want to spoil it on the off chance that I'll get to play it. I'm an Xbox only if y'all don't remember. But yeah, I would say just Kojima is a mad scientist. Dude can write wacky, crazy, amazing story with some ridiculously creative characters. And I can only imagine, with how off the beaten path and original the first one was, just where he could possibly take this. So I'd probably throw some Death Stranding 2 on my pile as
Okay. Well, the first one made it to Xbox eventually, so I would be willing to bet the
yeah.
second one will as well. I've heard that it's like more of the first one. So like
Yeah.
don't necessarily want to play them back to back, but if you like the first one, you're going to like the second one. That's what I've heard. I've not played either one of them. Kojima's never been my guy. I respect the man's creativity. Just not. I was never a Metal Gear Solid guy. I've never been into.
I need to jump back into the first one. I've been putting it on delay from all the other stuff that we've been playing. But I was always a big Metal Gear Solid fan up until the last one. I didn't play that.
Okay.
Phantom Pain, but every other one, and I'll get the remake of that they just put out eventually. So I love me some Hideo Kojima.
I've heard that director's cut is the best way to experience that game for anybody who hasn't played it. It just has a lot of good quality of life issues that ended up in the second one. I'd be interested to hear how you end up what you end up thinking about it. Josh, how about you? I know you've played at least a couple of these games we've talked about on here. What's leading in your vote, or who and what do you think's going to win?
Sure. So first off, of the games that I've played on this list, I've played Donkey Kong Bonanza and Silk Song. Both are great games. I would probably say of the two, Donkey Kong Bonanza might be the better game, but it's also got a larger budget. And in out of all six of these games, I'm probably going to throw my money behind uh, the hot horse here in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It is kind of an interesting story. This game kind of came out of nowhere this year, right? To a lot of people. I think it was on some radars for sure.
I
But
mentioned it on this show a couple of times.
yeah, but I don't think
it came out.
I don't think people thought that it would blow up quite the way that it did.
Sure.
And it's a very super tuned narrative and kind of turn-based RPG. What a lot of people, I think, have even argued that they'd like to see, a Square Enix Final Fantasy kind of be, but they were the first to do it this way. I have not played this. I've seen a little bit of it, and I do intend to get to it. It'll probably be kind of what I did last year with Metaphor, in that I kind of touch it the following winter, and or I guess the next year of the winter, right? So January 2026, most likely. But from what I hear, that one is kind of the favorite right now, and I would probably agree.
Yeah, it is breaking records for the most nominations, and it's been nominated across, I think, 12 different categories. The game is a freaking banger, and the story.
Yeah, and you didn't ask me who I thought would win, and that's definitely who I think is going to win.
You're right, I didn't.
Yeah. The other two games are just like what kind of stick out to me and what I have some experience with. Yeah, that's definitely going to win.
I just had to go with my turn-based RPG. So,
Josh, you would love that game. I mean, it marries two of your favorite style of games.
Unfortunately,
and the Final Fantasy turn-based.
I just hadn't built it into my schedule for the year, so it's kind of one of those games that has to kind of, hop on the carousel when the time comes. So
let it come to you.
Yeah.
So
I hear that.
It's and the great thing about it is it's compact. It doesn't go on forever. It's not like Metaphor where you'll spend 120 hours in it to finish everything. It is like a 40 to 60 hour game, and you could probably do it in 20 if you just do nothing but the main story.
That's a sweet
You're
spot
gonna
right
love it.
there.
Yeah, especially as I become involved in more adult things, I become less able to play video games.
Talk about your orgies.
Yeah, my orgies.
Your sexy parties.
One of my famous sexy parties. So it is really great that it's so compact. So and it's the moment to moment gameplay is the highs are just hitting right there all the time. The story's fantastic. The score is just so absolutely gorgeous. We'll talk about it later. It was actually charting in classical music as a high on classical music charts.
Oh, interesting.
It is fantastic. But what you guys really should do, even if you don't play the game, go check up Skill Up's video on the impossible true story of the making of Clair Obscur. It's like an hour, 2 hours long, but it even if you just watch like the first 30 minutes, you'll be like, oh my God, how the hell did this game end up getting made? First-time developers, most of them had never worked on a game before. The artist was found through like a DeviantArt type thing. The composer had never composed anything before. One of the main writers had never written anything professionally before.
One of the main writers didn't know how to write.
They just figured it out, huh?
He learned how to write literally while they were making the game.
And
It's
the
amazing.
last thing I'll opine on is Ubisoft could have had these guys. Two of the main guys came from Ubisoft, and like it would never get made there, so we left and made our own studio. They could have had this. It would have been huge. I mean, it is huge.
I mean, they lucked out there because
for sure,
Ubisoft
it
is
wouldn't
a
have been this
hot mess.
I propose that Ubisoft change their name to Ubi Softer than Charmin.
We'll put that on the next agenda item. So, I have played 3 of these 6 games. I've played Clair Obscur, I've played Donkey Kong Bonanza, I've played Hollow Knight Silk Song. I played the original Hades. I followed Hades 2, but I've not. Hades 1 wasn't really for me. Death Stranding, I mentioned, wasn't really for me. Even Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'm really interested in the idea, but I think I don't want something so simulation heavy. I want more fantastical, less.
It's intense.
Less banging my head against a wall at times kind of stuff. So, Clair Obscur is my like heads over heels winner. I would probably, if it was a different year that wasn't there, Donkey Kong Bonanza would be my game because I just loved that platformer, and it's great to see Donkey Kong get his due and bring him back again. It's just fantastic, and it really scratched that Banjo-Kazooie itch. I was having there.
And I'd like to see Nintendo win one of these again.
Yeah. Well, they got 2
seems like
nominations,
it's been a while.
which is fantastic. 2 exclusive nominations. So, all right, let's jump to.
Holy snap! Hold on, you get Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for 50% off for the next 7 days on Xbox.
What's that? Put it down like $30, $35.
$34.99.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Get on it.
If you're interested in that game, go get it now.
And as we talk right now, it's 9:07 p.m. Central on December 9th, 2025.
So you've got a week. Go for it.
Yeah, it's December 9th. 7 days. Go get it.
So let's jump to the next category, Best Score. So our nominees for Best Score are some familiar options here and one notable addition. So we have 5 nominees for this. We have Christopher Larkin, who did Hollow Knight Silk Song. We have Darren Korb, who did Hades 2. Lauren Testard, who did Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Toma Atoa, who did Ghost of Yote, new edition here. And we have Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell that did Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So, I have only really listened to 2 of these scores. My clear go for is Clair Obscur. I just thought that music was so wonderfully fantastic. I listen to it at work now when I'm writing. Hollow Knight didn't really grab me. I could see Ghost of Yote though having one heck of a banging score though. Josh, let's go to you this time. What are your thoughts on scores?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I've heard great things about the Clair Obscur music. I
Oh,
know
that's
that's
good
one of the
news for
things that
that.
people have kind of raved about, along with the story and gameplay. The only game on this list here that I've played is Hollow Knight Silksong. I can attest to the idea that Silksong's music is light years ahead of the original Hollow Knight game, but I can't definitively compare it to any of these. I don't. I think it's much more ambient
Yeah,
than
yeah, that's a good word
the
for it.
prior games for sure. But it's not necessarily something that's going to from area to area. Have you like with earworms? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I couldn't hum anything from Silk Song, even though I put like 20 hours into it.
Yeah.
Jared, what's the buzz? What do you think? Just what you've heard. What do you think seems to be a favorite for this?
I mean, I'm sure it'll be Expedition or Clair Obscur, sorry, Expedition 33. But um, knowing I haven't played any of these again, sorry folks, I'm letting you down. But with how much I love Ghost of Tsushima, like every
Yeah,
every single aspect of it from top to bottom, in the way it just like I don't know. I can't even explain it. But in any case, I would imagine that Ghost of Yote has a very similar experience, and I hope that one wins because I really absolutely adore that first game.
Ghost of Tsushima had a really awesome score. Like it was
Oh
really
yeah,
fantastic.
everything about that game is beautiful.
I'm Ghost of Yote is on my short list for next game, upcoming games next year that I'm gonna play. Let's jump to the next category, which is best narrative. So we got a lot of repeats here. I'll read these off real quick. Of course, we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, again for best narrative. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. We have Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F, which we actually haven't talked much about the Silent Hill F in our time, which is surprising since we do a lot of Resident Evil and
We
Dead
don't
Space.
talk a lot of Silent Hill in general, though.
Yeah, Silent Hill. I really like Silent Hill 2, but outside of that, I like the movies.
I can't
Yeah,
believe
those
that
are fun.
Donkey Kong wasn't
And there's
nominated.
there's
for
a
best
there's an
narrative.
upcoming
No, I'm
show
kidding.
too. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So the cool thing about Silent Hill F is it takes place in Japan, which is kind of weird because the whole story of Silent Hill is based on Centralia
Yeah.
in the U.S. In Pennsylvania, I think,
Pennsylvania, yeah.
in the U.S. And so like it's kind of interesting to see that they're moving to a new locale. I've actually heard some really good things about it. As far as narratives go, um, the only one I've experienced is Clair Obscur. The only one I'm hearing a whole lot about of like positive buzz about is Clair Obscur. Not to say that these other ones haven't had their own folks talking about it and talking positively about them. It just seems like there's a whole lot of discussion about Clair Obscur and not so. I haven't heard hardly anything about the story of Kingdom Come. Of course, Death Stranding 2 is a Kojima game, and Jared did a good job summing up the weird, wily ways of Hideo Kojima. And then Ghost of Yote, I've heard that the story is not as good as Ghost of Tsushima.
One of revenge, right?
Yeah,
I've heard otherwise. I've heard it stacks up.
really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Josh, anything stand out about this list?
I mean, this is obviously, as we mentioned, our first encounter with Silent Hill, in this year's awards. Some of that, it released late October. Is that right? Or early November?
My money is on October, but I don't
Ah,
actually know.
Okay,
good band.
early November.
Early November.
Yeah,
Anyone? Anyone?
yeah. I said early November.
Okay.
Was it
No,
early
you're good.
November?
Um,
Okay.
again, like having not played any of these, I feel like I have to defer to Clair Obscur. I know, obviously, I feel like Ghost of Yote story, or Yotai. Sorry, did I say that wrong?
I think it's Yote. I think you got
Okay,
it.
sorry. I've got to believe that that probably rivals Clair Obscur the most out of all of
Mhm.
these.
Okay.
But yeah, I know that, like as Jared kind of again alluded to, the Death Stranding, very very obscure
Mhm.
storytelling in general, kind of just by Kojima, and a very odd premise, to the series of Death Stranding. So, um, you're
If
effectively,
if video games are art,
yeah,
Death Stranding is a Picasso. It's
avant-garde.
weird.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you're what, like a
Yeah, it's just
post-apocalyptic mailman with a baby. I think is kind of the
It is a
with
weird
with
premise.
with the time warping baby,
yeah.
or time sensitive baby. It's a very strange.
I smell a
And with
sitcom.
rain that makes you old, and then ghost creatures that kill you. It's strange.
Yeah,
It's
It's
is it Death Stranding strange though?
and you're on the beach this time. Sorry,
Death Stranding too.
we shouldn't be
Oh yeah.
making fun of it or anything. I mean, we haven't
No,
played
I
it.
mean, I guess it's in jest, but it's also like that is it. Like it
Hey,
is a
don't get me
bizarre
wrong.
game.
My time with Death Stranding 1, I thoroughly enjoyed
Yeah,
it, and I'm definitely going to jump back into that game.
I
I can totally
watched
see me nerding
I
out and just
watched a playthrough of the original, and it's very it grips you, right? Just because it's so it's just different. So you're kind of just locked into it while you're watching it, or I guess
you
interfacing with
can't
it.
you can't take your eyes off of it. Yeah,
I
and
Yeah.
I
have no
can't resist
interest in
Mads
it.
Mikkelsen, man. I can't. Mads is the man.
So
Hashtag Mads is the man.
let's
Sorry.
jump into best performance here. The first thing that sticks out at me on when we look at best performance, we have
Ben Starr.
three nominations from Claire Obscur. And yes, I love Ben Starr. I'm so glad to see that he not only continues to get work, he absolutely fucking destroys it. I had not heard of this guy before Final Fantasy 16, and now he seems to be everywhere. Great for him. Jared, you'll recognize Charlie Cox on here, Daredevil himself. He
Yes.
plays a character in Claire Obscur as well. And then Jennifer English, Josh, I'm not sure if you recognize her name or not, but she was in Baldur's Gate 3. She was what's her character's name? Star
It was like the
something.
girl with the dark hair, right?
Yeah.
I'm blanking on.
Uh,
It's
Look
like
it up.
it's like some.
We'll keep
It's like
going.
Raven or something like that. I can't remember.
No,
It's something
it's
to do with like darkness.
yeah, it's something interesting. You look it up and get back to us. So, we also have Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yote.
Shadowheart.
Shadowheart. Yep, that's it.
I was like, it's something to do with darkness.
She was great in that too. We have Kanatsu Kato from Silent Hill F, and then Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Am I the only one who's played Indiana Jones in this group?
I played a little bit of that
Did
when we were, yeah.
did you what did you think of Troy Baker's rendition of Indy?
I thought it was great.
It's kind of
And
uncanny.
I thought, yeah, a little bit, but I thought he did the best he could. I mean, and Harrison signed off on it. He said he did a better job than what
Yeah.
he could have done.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
I feel like
yeah.
this award could also have like spillover from just like their body of work as, voice actors. I feel like
Yeah.
some people, might be more inclined to look at Charlie Cox or Jennifer English or Ben Starr, depending on their, fandom of other IP that they've worked on. So even if they haven't played a game that they're, nominated for on this list, they might be more inclined to just click on them because they know them and
I
like
like
them.
Troy Baker.
Kind of like, yeah,
People know him for he's in a lot of games.
yeah,
That's just the user review, user voting though.
yeah.
The big most of
Fair
the
enough.
voting's done
Yeah,
by a panel, and so I think
yeah.
the user votes that may be influenced.
Yeah. Ben Starr, though, he also did Dice Dark in the voice acted version of Final Fantasy
Oh, really?
Tactics, Ivalice Chronicles. Yes, so he's very good at playing a villain this year.
He's great in Expedition. So is Charlie Cox. My money's on Jennifer English. I thought she was fantastic. I think her character was the most compelling. She portrays Mael, and she does such a good job. It really has you feeling for the character. There's a lot of emotion in that game. So if you guys end up playing it, just pay attention to her rendition. I was really impressed with Troy Baker too. I really felt like he was Harrison Ford. Like if I didn't know better, I'd be like, oh, that's just Harrison Ford. Like maybe he's got a slight cold or something. Like just a little off, but it's like really freaking close. So, Josh,
he did a great job.
Who do you have any like one you're pulling for? Do you want anyone specific?
Ben's my guy. I got to go with Ben personally, but that's just based on, again, I kind of alluded to it, but the body of work that I know versus what I've actually experienced in that game. Even though I know from what I've heard, he was fantastic in Clair Obscur as well.
He was. He really was. Jared, anybody you're pulling for?
I'm on Team Cox here.
Yeah.
I same logic as Josh. I'm just more familiar with his body of work, and even more so than just Daredevil. Like I've been a fan of his for a very long time. So seeing him win in a different medium will be exciting, and I hope he does. I know he has the talent to earn it.
Yeah.
Show.
He, talking about his full body of work, one of my favorite things he was in, Stardust.
I love Stardust.
He's great in Stardust.
He does such a good job. That whole movie is so underrated.
It's such a good
spiritual successor to The Princess Bride. I said it.
I'm with you. It's great. Actually, I might have to go watch that. Kayla and I love that movie. We'll round out this discussion before shifting. We're almost done here. So let's talk about one of the specific categories, best RPG. So we'll have some familiarity with some of these. So, first one on the list, Avowed by Obsidian. Of course, we have Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, another familiar one. We have a newcomer here, Monster Hunter Wilds by Capcom. And the newest, most recently released, I should say, The Outer Worlds 2, also by Obsidian. I just like to point out, way to fucking go, Obsidian. They've got 2 nominations on this list, and I think they released 2 or 3 games this year? Was it 3 games? It's just 2.
I think it was just the 2.
Because they got Avowed and The Outer Worlds.
Did they fix Redfall?
They didn't make Redfall, but I would like them to fix Redfall. I think they could do it.
Okay.
So, standout.
Oh, that was Arcane. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, that was Arcane.
Sorry.
That studio is no longer, rest in peace, with us. Jared, what do you think of this lineup here?
Again, I think Clair Obscur is going to win. I think either Clair Obscur or Kingdom Come should win. That being said, I have played Avowed. I have played The Outer Worlds 2. I think The Outer Worlds 2 kicks Avowed in the dick. So I would pull for The Outer Worlds 2 because I thoroughly am enjoying that game. I'm still playing it. But I think the other 2 that I mentioned up front deserve the win more so because they're more, at least I know Kingdom Come is definitely more of a role-playing game than Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed are. I'm not sure about the mechanics within Clair Obscur, but yeah, that's what I would say.
So Clair and Monster Hunter Wilds jump out because they're very much Japanese style games.
Gotcha.
Monster Hunter Wilds, I think, is a little more action-oriented, but Clair is like a modernized Japanese JRPG with some action elements, whereas Monster Hunter is more action with a lot of RPG mechanics underlying it. So I think those are some interesting combinations. Whereas like Avowed and the Outer Worlds 2 are very clear Western RPGs, and Kingdom Come Deliverance is like in that same kind of vein, right? Like I've not played it, but that's my understanding.
Is it just me, or have there been like 6 Monster Hunter games released in like the past like 7 years? They've been coming out like crazy, haven't they? Just variants of the series.
They had it kind of blew up with I forget the big one that came out a couple of
well, Monster Hunter, was it not the last one, but was it World was kind of the one, right? That
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. I think that one was the one that kind of blew up the series.
Yeah,
Monster Hunter World was the one that started Wild, and then the show, and then there's the mobile one, and then there's
a Switch version, Switch game that came.
Yeah, like the stories, Monster Hunter stories. They've got like 2 or 3 of those, I think, don't they?
So Monster Hunter, I've never.
Good for them though. I appreciate the hustle.
Yeah.
This one I heard gets a little bit tries to please too many people, and therefore doesn't quite please the right people. So, I'm interested to see who wins this category. Josh, what are your thoughts on this list?
I mean, obviously we keep saying the likely winner will be Claire, and I would agree, Claire Obscure, but I still, again, I haven't had a chance yet to fire up Outer Worlds 2. I am going to. I am kind of leaning on the two of you for tidbits, but maybe not spoilers. But at the same time, I understand that I'm kind of the squeaky wheel here on that front. But Avowed, we go check out our episode earlier this year on that. We all had, I think Jared and I were a little bit lower on it than Alex was. Not that it's a bad game, but it's not perfect.
It's expectations versus execution.
Yeah, fair enough. And then, as we kind of talked about, Kingdom Come seems more like a life simulator, mixed up with kind of just RPG elements, from what I've heard, which sounds intriguing. At least something to watch. I don't know if it's something that I would play, but yeah, I would probably go with. I'd probably go with Claire. I think Claire again is probably going to be the best RPG of the year.
I'm with you. I think Claire's the winner. Honestly, as much as I like Capcom, I haven't heard much discussion, like strong discussion about Monster Hunter Wilds. Didn't seem to hit the way they wanted it to. So, not saying that it's a bad game or anything like that. It seemed like it came in a flash and went, and I haven't heard a lot of talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was given a 6 out of 10 on Steam, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2 has the benefit of being very recent and in everyone's memory, whereas Avowed is like and Kingdom Come are kind of the opposite. That came out early in the year. Yeah. So Outer Worlds 2 has that. I think Outer Worlds 2 mechanically is very similar to Avowed when it comes to like the like character development aspect. Outer Worlds 2 is a little more deeper for sure.
Yeah.
But narratively, Outer Worlds 2 is a better game than Avowed.
For sure. It's so well written.
That was one of our biggest problems with Avowed, is the main story was just very
It's a little off.
Vanilla.
I'm going for gasps here. I'm going to say I like Avowed better than the Outer Worlds 2.
That doesn't...
I'm going for gasps.
That makes sense.
And I'll say this. I'll say this. I really liked both games. I actually really liked Avowed. You can go back and listen to our episode discussion and how it hit, but it was just that the character development felt really good and the mechanics felt really good. The story just wasn't great, and the depth was a little shallow. Outer Worlds is much deeper, but the only game on this list that made me cry, made me tear up, is Expedition 33.
Did it make you gasp?
I almost said it for that too. Yes, it did make me gasp, And there's a moment in there there's a couple of moments where you'll be like, what the fuck just happened? Also,
Do they kill Aerith?
I'm not going to spoil anything, but you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Aerith dies, guys.
dies. um,
Dang.
Andy Serkis is in that game.
Yeah, I know that.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So, okay. Well,
Yeah, he does a good job from what I hear.
That's been our discussion of the Game Award nominees. That's going to be on the 11th, so just a couple days from now. That's Thursday, so it'll probably be the day after this show airs. I'll probably put this show up tomorrow, so on the 10th.
Yeah.
Which is
Just a
little
reminder
later.
to anyone, 6:30 p.m. Central / 7:30 Eastern on Thursday. The 11th is the Game Awards, so tune in
I'm going to send you guys that
and vote.
that skill up video, and I'm not saying you got to watch it, but I think you'll be interested.
Will we, do we get to pick what skill we level up?
There you go. I sent it. It's there. Okay, so we played Hunt Showdown 1896, so you don't have to. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about it. Now, I'll point it out. I'll preface this it was enjoyable. We had a lot of fun with it. But let's talk about Hunt Showdown 1896. We don't usually play extraction shooters, so this is a different experience. This may be the only one I've ever played. I can't.
It's the only one I've ever played.
I can't.
Outside,
I'll play more if any come across Game Pass, but yeah.
Outside of any multiplayer variant of the model on Call of Duty, this would probably be the only one.
So Hunt Showdown 1896 was released on February 22nd, 2018. It is published by Crytek, and it was developed by Crytek as well. It is on all the major platforms: PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Windows, GeForce, you name it. Its Metascore, surprisingly, it is only Metascored on PlayStation 5. I don't actually know why.
That's strange.
It got an 80. That's pretty solid on Metascore. And the user reviews are generally favorable at 7.6. So it's doing pretty well. And honestly, it was a fun game. Hunt, Jared, can you give us a rundown of what Hunt Showdown 1896 is? What is that like for folks that haven't played it?
So it's Western style, first off. And then the game is structured where you're dropped on a map, and then you have various points spread out throughout the map. And it's a decent sized map that you have to go and purify. So it's a supernatural game. And once you purify a certain amount, then you had to go and kill a boss. And once you kill that boss, you have to skedaddle off the map, and you have to get to an extraction point, hence the name Extraction Shooter. Now, the caveat is you're not the only team on the map trying to do all of this. So not only do you have to deal with the AI, which can include, like I mentioned, the big bosses earlier, but there's also smaller bosses we came across, like zombies and things that launch things at you or whatnot. So you have to, stay on your toes outside, but also other folk can come along. They can kill you and they can steal your stuff. And if you die on the map, you lose everything that you're carrying in that session. So definitely layers to the extraction shooter model. But yeah, I had a great time playing with you guys.
Yeah, me too. It was the matches weren't super long. It was kind of neat to be able to jump in. There felt like real pressure in some of those moments.
Yeah.
You run out of ammunition, you get damaged. There's some real stress playing this game.
The map that I don't know if there are more than the one we played, but the one that we were playing, parts of it definitely felt like the village from Resident Evil 4 to me.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like the vibes that I got. Yeah, to that point, you're kind of killing effectively zombies, as the
Yeah.
thralls, right? The little junk enemies, if you will. So it definitely had a Resident Evil couch co-op slash, you know, online multiplayer co-op feel to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely first person, kind of like Village.
Mm-hmm. Really good looking game.
Oh, yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. Like Crytek looks fantastic, and that I didn't realize the game came out in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So
Yeah.
it's several years.
It's keeping up. Like it's not on the cutting edge or anything, but it's definitely keeping up with the standards. I didn't notice anything off. I didn't see any significant frame rates drop or anything like that. I thought it performed fine, as it should. So, hats off there to them. The design was pretty cool. Guns were fun.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of. I mean, there could be more variety. Like it's pretty much a variation on a pistol, a shotgun, or a rifle.
Or a rifle, yeah.
And there's different versions of them, but like I know going through the loadout things, I kind of got bored going through there's just too much of the same stuff, right? And I was just like, I'm just gonna pick something and go with it, and it worked out well for me.
Well, even like the unlock stuff, the menus are just kind of a little unruly and perhaps cumbersome to navigate. So that made it more difficult to figure out what weapon you want to go with.
That was my biggest flaw in the whole game, was the management system, like the prepping before, like the menus and unlocking certain things, and you spend this currency on this and this currency on these things, and it, granted, being completely transparent, I'm not in that world, so it may be a lot easier for someone who is used to jumping into Arc Raiders or even Call of Duty or Fortnite regularly and used to using the currency in that way. But I had a lot of trouble navigating that system. And again, like we were doing it beforehand, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just ready to jump in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick this, pick that. Let's go.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine. What did you guys?
But I think we played 2 rounds.
Yeah,
That
was what, like 2 hours, a couple of rounds. We had to do that like little tutorial piece to get into it. So it's almost
that
like
took
a
a little
third
bit of time
round,
too.
basically out of that. What do you guys think about the premise of the game?
I thought, as far as extraction shooters goes, again, we don't have a lot of experience, so I don't know what the typical wrapping is for it or what it looks like. But I thought the Western setting was cool. You don't get too many Western style games, even with Western sci-fi kind of weapons sometimes.
Yeah.
But and I wouldn't say most of the weapons were sci-fi. I'm just thinking about that pistol that was belt fed.
Yeah.
That was running around with. That wasn't real. I don't think that was real. But in any case, the Western setting was fun and it was unique. Kind of a dirty Western Louisiana feel.
Yeah, just like in the swamp half the time.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
1880s or whatever.
96.
Yeah.
Some might say 1896.
Yeah.
I thought the premise was a little goofy. Like we were kind of we were laughing at the intro and all that stuff.
Well,
but
the voice acting, I found it to be not
the narrator.
Yeah, the narrator. It was like I don't even know how to describe. I was thinking about it on the way home from Lawrence actually today, and I forgot now what I wanted to use to describe him, but it's almost like they told him his lines after he signed up for it, and then he was like, oh, that's it, like this is it, like I'm kind of just gonna phone it in now, because the Western accent just kind of it was like, I bet you don't know what I got in that room over there, son. And it just it seemed like very hammy and kind of campy, but not very well, I guess. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, and I suspect most people, it's in the tutorial section.
Yeah.
After the first half hour of the game, you probably almost never hear or see anything of it again. So it really isn't that big of a deal.
Maybe.
So they probably a lot of people won't even see this. Let's just get it through so that people who want a tutorial have something, right?
Yeah.
If you're not Navi, you're just the intro voice.
and the whole thing, the premise, once you get past the premise. It's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's paranormal 1896 Western motif, like you said,
Yeah.
Louisiana style. I don't.
Your cowboy
understand it.
exorcist.
Yeah, exactly. You're a cowboy exorcist.
Just go with it.
I don't need to know more.
One, I don't, a couple things, like, I don't, to be fair, like, I don't know how to compare this, because, like, you guys have been saying, we don't really play this type of game, so I don't know if it's just like here's a monkey that pulled a lever on, like a AI generation that says, okay, we're making a post-apocalyptic 1892 zombie extraction shooter, or if it's just like a skin over just some like random like concept, or if it's like a truly novel idea. You know what I mean? But the biggest gripe I have about it is probably, we played it for 2 hours, and I felt like the enemy, like the bosses, I guess if you will, we encountered like the same bosses. I felt like 3 or 4 times in that time span, and it just seemed kind of like it would get a little more stale quicker because of that. But I don't know if that changes, once you get past the first 10 levels, because I believe technically you're you're going against AI for the first 10 levels from competitors. So.
And that's a good point, because I think you note something I hadn't really thought about much, but the enemy variety was kind of stale. Early on, it does feel threatening. It does feel pressured and scary. I don't know how long that would last if I played this like was my game day in and day out. It is nice because it is PvPvE, so like there is player versus player aspects of it. And so like when we're running in and we run into other players, I'm not even sure if they're actually players now. Josh ruined my fantasy of being really good at an online video game, so they may just have been AI. Well, whatever. But we went in there. It does. You go in there and you see that, and it changes it ups the ante, it ups the stakes, and I thought that was a really cool aspect. I know it's not unique to this game, but crossed with that paranormal setting, I just thought that was kind of cool. Like,
it's kind of like almost like the Spider-Man meme where you see like another Spider-Man, and you're like, wait a second, like you kind of have that moment of like, oh shit, this is happening. We gotta. Oh, which one do we go first? Yeah.
We gotta throw down.
Yeah, but there are parts of it. It's like a combination of like maybe like a King of the Hill like elements with the kind of loadout building slash, like just kind of the LAN kind of multiplayer experience, but also like the PvE elements. It's an interesting combination of all that. Obviously the loadout generation and kind of massaging is done pre-lobby or in the lobby, as opposed to pick random scopes and mags and all sorts of things up like that, like you would in like a PUBG or a Warzone or something like that. It's an interesting feel, and it's definitely a fun game, on a Saturday night with a few drinks and friends. I'm curious, and Jared, I don't know if you know this or anything, but is this something that you can also play solo, or do you have to play like in
I don't. You could probably join other solo teams, but I think you have to have at least like 3 players to jump in.
Well, because I'm just curious because like Arc Raiders, that game, there is like a dedicated like I think like solo right now, at least dedicated like solo server to a certain extent, to where you can go in and get maybe more of like a true single player multiplayer experience, where you can also like emote to people to not shoot you,
and
so you can like go kill big mechanical monsters and other things like that. Sorry, what, Alex?
So oh no, you're fine. You froze on my end at least a little.
I did.
Yeah, you froze on my end.
Where did
I wasn't sure.
Could you still hear me? Or
so it'll be in the recording. It'll keep going, so don't worry about it. Because it saves locally.
Fair enough.
The what I'll say about one of the best things I can say about Hunt is it really made me interested in the genre. Like I enjoyed playing. I probably won't want to play hours upon hours of this game, but like, hey, if we're free and we want to play something, why not jump on this one again on Friday night, right?
And here's something, audience. If you have any good extraction shooters that we should jump into, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
On whatever platform you're listening. Reach out on the YouTube comments or throw us out on Twitter or something like that, and we'll throw those out at the end of the episode. But yeah, let us know if there's a good extraction shooter we should play.
Throw out your Escape from Tarkov's and Arc Raiders and Helldivers and all that stuff.
Helldivers would be one I think would be good to jump into. I've been interested in that. They just seem like a fun company. So, I mean, I don't know how much more to say about this game. It was fun. I thought the gunplay was pretty good. It was kind of weird because it's a toggle.
The reload.
Yeah.
My God, the reloading is so slow. That's the other thing that I forgot about.
You had to reload your gun. It doesn't automatically reload when you're done.
It takes like 30 seconds to reload your gun, which is realistic,
each
I guess.
In one at a time, Josh.
That's part of the shtick.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm thinking about this right now. You know what this game made me think of? It made me think, that Hugh Jackson movie from the early 2000s where he plays Van Helsing? Van Helsing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's this game. It's the same kind of like
imagery
and stuff.
Feel.
It was like Bloodborne, but more
like
on like guns.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so all right, good game, and I think the best thing we can.
Yeah.
I said that I started to say this, but the best thing I can say about this game is it makes me want to play more games like it. Right, I'm actually really interested.
Yeah, if you have Game Pass and some buddies, jump on, and play for a few hours.
I've heard it might be leaving soon too, so like check it out before it gets off Game Pass. Speaking of things we should jump into, that new Marvel Cosmic.
Yes, I already have it downloaded.
Yeah, me too. I think we should jump into that like with Turtles. It's the same company, .mu.
I like Turtles.
We could knock it out in 5 hours, and it's an arcade experience. We could do that and do another episode on that too. So
fill me in.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm out of the loop.
You should take a look at it. It's really cool. So it's done in like that old school 90s arcade beat 'em up style.
Oh, okay.
It's Marvel.
Like
but you pick two characters. And you can switch between the characters on the fly while you're going through stages and fighting, so you can chain some really cool stuff together. It's pretty cool. I played the first level. Go ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say you can like swap. Essentially, it's like Double Dash, but like with beat 'em up sort of kind of scenario.
Kind of, yeah. And you can chain their abilities and do all kinds of stuff. It's really neat. That's the same. We played Shredder's Revenge last year. I think it was last year. Same developer. So
it'll be 2 years. This next summer.
So it's the same crew. I think it would be a real cool one, real short, compact game. We jump on, play it, talk about it on the show. So, well, with that, that's all we got for you guys this month. We'll be back in your ears and on your eyes. Does that sound right? In the new year, and we'll probably start off talking about the Outer Worlds too. So we'll see you in the meantime. See you then. In the meantime, go play some games and check out the Game Awards. We'll be interested to see what folks think. Who do you think's gonna win, and how do you feel about the inevitable winners? If you want to talk with us, hit us up on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now at pod_win. You can email us at play2winpod@gmail.com. You can hit us in the comments on YouTube, where we're also doing shorts every week now, and those are popping off the list. By the way, I think, Jared, you have the most specific shorts. For some reason, your topics when you talk just seem to be the most interesting and easiest to pull out shorts. So kudos to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and go vote for Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Bye.
Yep.